Hey everybody, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. We're checking out this mini documentary here on George Harrison's Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth on the video that was made. The stop motion video, I believe, was directed by Finn Wolfhard. And such a great song. The video is really, really well done too. And definitely interested in checking out this full album, Living in the Material World. I have reacted to all songs on All Things Must Pass. That's on Patreon. It's such an amazing album. It has become a very important album to me personally, and in terms of the themes and stuff. And yeah, it's definitely one that's gonna stay with me. I've been listening to it nonstop. Yeah, let's check this out.
Hello. I got the stuff.
Thanks, man. All right, let's go in the back and look at it. Sure.
This is the Give Me Love stop motion animation music video by George Harrison, directed by Finn Wolfhard. And we're out here just making magic, turning nostalgia into something you can reach for in the screen.
Wow.
With the whole I love that George poured into his song, you know? We're super lucky, we're super excited, and we have a super talented crew who are just making the impossible possible. Every step of the way, from pre to production to filming to post, there's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
Take hold of my hand, but
Man, stop motion is such a beautiful way of, the art form, everything that goes into it, the details, just even the process of shooting and recording it. But all before that, there's so much to it, and it's amazing. If you can be part of this, for example, that's beautiful. Love it.
understand you.
So for George, Finn kind of wanted him to look very carved, and we decided on a younger time in his life. So the design, it took a lot of designing. Olivia did the design for George. It was a lot of wardrobe passes, passes. We had about, I think, 4 different styles of George, and then we sent it over to the estate. His son, Danny and David, gave their input, and we kind of worked our way. It was honestly, that part of the process was very scary because, again, this is his father who's no longer with us. So getting that right was very important. And I think Finn had a very specific vision, and Olivia helped kind of get it there.
Show him this one. So here's the.
Did you see what I meant when I texted what I texted?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, great.
But yeah, the actual eyes, the eyes are actually bigger than the drawing. So
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think once, we add the hair and everything, I think
Yeah,
it'll be great.
It's hard to look at a bald head and
Right,
see it.
No, I think that really helped. The nose really helped.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right about that.
It's also tricky showing somebody a 2D drawing of a character and then translating it to 3D. It always looks different. So I'm glad they were happy. But yeah, we just wanted him to look very recognizable, kind of exaggerate his features. The light hits him really nicely sometimes, and you get all those different angles in his face. But yeah, no, it was in that world of like looking very carved and handmade, but keeping those integral facial features like the mustache and the curls in his hair.
As you can see, this very large tree. So we take paper,
Or last night you were
this
like,
color,
show up at 8 a.m. and I was
we
like,
paint it, and then we get the Cricut to cut out the shape, so it's the exact same pattern every time. Ray and Abby have been going in and painting them, each individual leaf.
That is amazing, right? Just painting each individual leaf and all this attention to these details is it's amazing. I love this. This is the type of stuff that we really. I mean, this is what we need right now in this world where you know images are generated with one sentence, and it's just like this quick fix, and here it's just the other way around. So much work into it, the iceberg beneath the surface, and you get to see just the tip, but all the work underneath there. It's, yeah, man, the human collaboration to bring this to life. That's the true magic.
I think it will. Especially
That tree is so
until it's
cool.
Colored. Like, I feel like once it's colored and it's darker than the outside,
Her name is Abby Collins, named after Abbey Road. I don't know.
I feel like it'll blend in better if it does stay this way. Like, if you're concerned about it looking like a face, because it'll be darker on the inside. Yeah.
So I think the thing I'm worried about, if it's all bark, is it's going to be way too rough for the pieces to move against, and B, this is like a cartoon character, and the cave is like basically a smiley face. Like, we've got this thing that needs to kind of walk that line of like cartoon tree, but very realistic finish.
I would, yeah. Let's call Bronte and see what she wants. I'm in favor of texture everywhere. Yeah.
Everything looks so good. The tree is pretty incredible.
It's huge. Yeah.
Well, the face of the tree came along very slowly and then all at once. Because kind of once you start with this clay, you have to work with it, and then it cures and it's done. So we were trying to decide how to not make the face look creepy coming out of the tree. So we were talking about where the bark texture stops and where it starts to look like what's underneath the bark on the tree.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah. That's a, it seems obvious after, somebody does it, but that's actually a very clever idea to have that more smoother surface that's just beneath the bark for the facial features, and kind of having, a little less rough of a face. Yeah, oh, that's cool.
I think we're just going back and forth because they didn't know what would make it more human and what would make it cuter. Because at first it did just kind of look like a really wise man coming out of a tree stump. But then they called me, and then I just vetoed some stuff, and we got working.
Cover, maybe not all the way around.
Yeah, but like slightly just
Yeah,
that bit.
just that 1 inch there.
Yeah.
For safety. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this is the first shot of the music video. We've got a big camera move. It's gliding through all of our topiary trees. This is called a moko. Essentially, with stop motion, we want to be able to repeat camera moves. So this allows us to frame by frame step through a move that the computer can repeat over and over, which is good for rig removal and stuff like that when we have to do comp. Right now I'm just auto shooting some frames because it's just going through the set. So yeah, kind of just wait around. Everything is crafted. Everything is very meticulous. For example, in the Venus flytrap shot, all the gnomes get covered in this substance called museum gel, which is kind of the saliva of the Venus flytrap. And we made sure to shoot everything after that scene in actual sequence, because that museum gel did not come off the gnomes. For the rest of the video, they looked slimy. So these are some things you have to consider.
So this is the Venus flytrap's lower jaw, and it's like a skin that's going to go over the armature and the foam. It's essentially like a swim cap.
Well, Finn Wolfhard's directing this. This Venus flytrap is reminiscent of, some of the, the creatures in Stranger Things. What is it? The Demogorg? That one? Kind of looking like almost like a meat-eating plant, but a little bit scarier,
That we're going to put over something. But it's going to be basically what you see on camera in the end. This is the inside. This is the ugly part. The other side is the nice sculpted detail, which is going to be painted and camera ready for animation.
Wow. It's just amazing, right? Just making a sculpture like that is already hard enough, and then you have to make sure it's able to move for, for the stop motion. So there's so many things that go into it, and so many people have to know about their own expertise, right? Whether it's camera work and shooting it and thinking ahead, because if you cover gnomes with certain museum gel, then we gotta take that into account, and everyone has their own kind of field of work, and that's how it comes together, which is it's beautiful art, a collaborative art. I love it.
3 of them are due
It's
today,
great.
so that's coming up. And Kristen's working on the Venus flytrap, Abby's working on the tree, Graham's working on the cave. So we're all kind of jumping onto different things right now.
Ron, which part is this one?
This is sort of like a wild rock for the cave. You can hide sightlines or whatever. What I'm hoping to still do with what's left of today is get the rest of this covered.
Great.
Just sort of like, kind of like this ground cover, but without leaving any of the mesh visible.
What was the spray?
It's a combination of water and the sort of like accompanying product to this concrete, which is called ramp, which just helps the concrete like adhere. It's mostly meant to help the concrete adhere to like vertical surfaces, like here. So it probably doesn't need it here on the flat ground. I'm just doing it for good measure.
Ron, what? This is huge. It's big.
It's gonna be seen by the world over.
Wow. And the beautiful tree.
I was very excited to see the tree come along. I was also very excited for the scene of the duck walking into the lake and then transforming into the porcelain duck, just because it's, first of all, it's just so cute, and Pekin ducks are something that are local to the area where the Harrison estate is. And the duck boat that it turns into is a callback to one of George Harrison's music videos.
Oh, I've seen that image before, but I haven't heard the song yet. I've seen that image, when I was scrolling YouTube, and of course because of listening to so much of George's music, and of course the Beatles as well. YouTube's starting to recommend more of this, but I haven't heard this one.
In this little porcelain duck.
Or seen it.
So we kind of remade it so that
Right.
he can kind of go in it again,
Cool.
and it's a little treat for George Harrison fans.
Easter egg, huh?
Loves the one that loves the Lord, and the Lord.
We were kind of looking at a few things when it comes to kind of deciding the language of a production. And it really has to do with the budget and the time that you have, because we wanted everything to just feel natural and like it belonged in this world. But with that comes hours and hours of labor. Like the Japanese maple is a good example of that. It's a tree with hand-cut paper leaves, and each leaf was cut by an artist, and to get just that one tree done, it was probably something that someone did for 3 days straight. And then even Akash came in at some point and cut some I think everyone cut one of those leaves that's on that tree.
And interestingly, everything kind of looked similar. The
Yeah.
tree had a mustache, George has a mustache, the cave smiles like George. Everything kind of looked like a family.
We wanted to all look very cohesive.
All of the work in stop motion happens before you even start shooting.
Right.
We have our shots to the frame. We have an animatic, which gives us our timing and our acting. We've had multiple conversations with Finn about how the world's going to look, how the shots are going to feel. Even something as simple as Finn telling me, never at any point in the video do I want George to seem surprised. This is his daily routine. He does this every day. Something like that is so great for me when I'm animating, because it's just the over arc of the video. I know now that it gives me a lot to work with. But working with Finn was great. He obviously crafted the story, and he knows the subject matter very well. And yeah, he was very passionate, very involved, especially in the early stages with building. He was always quick to answer about a decision on the color of something or where something should be placed. And when it came to the animation, it was a great balance. Like, he let me kind of do my thing as much as I could and put my performance into it. But, there were times where he would record things called lavs for me, which is a live action video reference.
So if the first shot is George like looking, and then he looks up, and then, shot of the cloud waving, and then I was thinking it could be cool if it was like down like this, and like you could even catch like a piece of one of the gnomes, like one of the gnomes heads, hats or whatever, and it could just be like from down here kind of thing, and he just like and then like looks off.
He
Wow, they-
also was so excited.
They definitely executed that direction there to the T. Really nice, and that shot to the cloud as well, looking up and the cloud waving back. It's beautiful video. I want to. After I'm done recording, I'm going to rewatch it. It's so cool. Now see, even with seeing this, you'll have even more appreciation for it. I imagine, even though we already know what stop motion is and what it kind of entails, but seeing the people working on it, the love they put in it, because the song is called "Give Me Love," and they did definitely put their love into it. Look at George here sitting on the couch.
About shots, that's always nice. On a super long stop motion shoot, it can get very, yep, good, move on. But he was never like that. He was checking the dailies every day and texting me being like, dude, this is so great.
The time change ended up being like kind of perfect because I was in Asia, and so like whenever I would wake up, your day would be over. So like I would wake up and be able to watch all the footage and then give my notes and then have my entire day, and like it was a kind of a perfect, like kind of remote situation.
And it's nice to hear that after days taking hundreds of photos. It's nice to have that excitement from a director. So yeah, no, it was a really pleasant process.
We make the impossible possible and magical.
Yeah. So cool, huh?
Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth. Give me light, give me life, keep me free from birth. Give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul.
Just the crew. Literally, like, I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I storyboarded it with, Mema, and that was it. Like, it just was like we did that, and then, like, I would obviously, like, answer questions and stuff daily, but, like, I'm not the one every day, like, moving everything and setting up camera. And
Thank you for trusting us, dude.
yeah,
Like,
of course.
you really just kind of put that in Akash's hands and like all of our hands and said, we got this. And we're like, okay.
Love, give me peace on earth. Give me light,
Nice.
give me life, keep me free from birth. Give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load.
So cool. That was amazing. That was amazing. Absolutely beautiful video. And seeing, the people that are so talented, work on it. It's really cool. And, as, for the director to trust him, right? You got to have faith in your people that they know what they're doing, And of course, George, without him, this song wouldn't exist. So this video would never exist. Absolutely beautiful song. I love it. And I hope he was kept free from birth, like he was asking for in many, many songs. So yeah, good stuff. Thank you for being here. Peace.